What's going on, fam? Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. Today we are taking a look at a new brand to the channel. This is Fintiso, and this is the Fintiso Cobra. It doesn't actually say that anywhere on the box, but it's all good. So, slip box, got a little magnet closure there, and for the inside here it has endless exploration, endless sharp, typical paperwork on the inside, nothing out of the ordinary there. Pouch on the inside, a typical sticker, cloth, not a whole lot going on there that you're not used to. So jumping into the knife, so this knife has had a lot of comparisons drawn to the Nightshade. They are both shilin cutter blades. I did really like the look, or I do really like the looks of this knife. It does, of course, remind me a lot of the Nightshade. It's got some differences. We'll talk about those. We'll actually do some direct comparisons. I think this knife is a fantastic buy in the budget realm. This specific one I don't think is right. But, if it's one that you really enjoy, I don't think you're really getting hurt picking up the premium version here. But they do offer a budget version that's in that $60 price range. And they are running 14C and either aluminum or G10. This is S35 and carbon fiber. They offer two variants of this one with a satin blade or a stonewash blade, and then the PVD coated blade here. So just taking a look at the blade itself. So again, you have that typical shilin cutter blade, big sweeping handle, leaf-shaped blade. Now this one does kind of mute that a little bit, but we'll kind of talk about some of the more pressing points on the knife, but we'll go into it real quick here. So you do have just a standard carbon fiber. You have some really nice blue accents on the pivot, button, and all of the hardware. And then you have the back spacer here as well. And then coming along on the back side here, everything is mirrored. Now you do have some kind of purple popping in on the tooling of that pivot. Really nice stuff. Pocket clip is neither here nor there. It's a good pocket clip. It works well. It's just the non-premium version does have a deep carry folded over pocket clip. So I don't know. I'm not sure why they wouldn't have implemented that here on this one as well. But no lefty love, but you do have a lanyard hole there. Knife did come centered. I've not played with it at all as far as taking apart or anything like that. And then you have, like I said, you have this kind of a black washed almost blade. It's not quite a straight PVD coating because it is a little bit muted there. Fintiso branding, and then S35 here on the backside. Jimping is functional. It is pretty nice there. It goes about halfway down the blade. Then again, you got that leaf shape, almost that leaf shape shilling cutter blade. And taking a look at everything, the grind looks good. We've got a little guest popping up here on the table, so forgive any background noise. Miss Baby Girl wants to help out with the knife review. Yes, hello, baby girl. Yes, I see you. Okay. Yes, hello. Okay. Yeah, I'm working here. I'm working here. Okay. All right, back off. All right, now. So back into the blade here. So again, really nice job on the sharpening. I will give them that. Sharpening choil looks good. Blade came very sharp, so we'll take a look at that here in just a minute as well. Now, ergonomics on the knife are fantastic. It is a really a well-done knife. It fits great in the hand, which shilling cutters typically do. I typically don't like the flipper on these. It's the same way with the Nightshade. I prefer the non-flipper variant. I'm actually going to be doing a flipper delete on my premium Nightshade. I would suggest doing the same thing here. I don't personally like the flipper. That kind of rolls into my next point. This knife's action is really good with the reverse flick or with the, just a slow roll or whatever. I can't thumb flick it because my hand gets in the way. But the reverse flick is phenomenal. It's really well done. You've got some nice blade retention from the plunge lock. Button action is good. Very easy to press button. The problem is when you go to use the flipper. So the flipper action is very spongy, very lazy. As you can see here, I'm not trying to fail the knife. I mean, you can if you push button it, you can get it to come out, and then you have to really stage up to do the light switch. But reverse flick, it's phenomenal. So I would, you know, full disclosure, I'm planning on sending this back. This was purchased by me through Amazon. I'm going to send it back, and I'll probably get either the budget version or get the satin blade one, so I can do the flipper delete and it not look stupid. You know, sometimes if you do a flipper delete on, or if you do a flipper delete on a black blade, you kind of have to go a little extra mile. And yeah, I'm not that worried about it. Having the satin blade's not going to bother me any. So this is definitely one where I would much rather see this without the flipper. And I get why they did it. I'm assuming why they did it was because they did draw inspiration from the Nightshade Premium, where you have the blade hole and the flipper, and then they're just giving you that option to have the button lock. Like I said, again, this is a beautiful knife. I really do like the looks of it. It is phenomenal in the hand. It is, I mean, it's a laser beam. It's very, very sharp. I've been really impressed with the knife in general. It's just, like I said, I can't have a mode of deployment on a knife that is basically impossible to use. So I'm sure I could probably take the knife apart, stretch the spring, you know, lube everything, clean everything, and probably get that to be an acceptable flipper. But it's never going to be my primary mode of opening the knife, so it just kind of gets in the way, quite honestly. Even with the thumb flick, because the thumb flick is actually really good if I can get my hand out of the way of the flipper. But without that flipper there, it would be fine. Now, drawing that direct comparison, so here you have the Premium Nightshade next to the Fintiso Cobra. So you can see there are some vast differences. Well, I say that there are some differences here that are subtle, but there are several of them. You know, so the biggest thing, the method of deployment. Then you look down here at the base of the handle here, where you have more of a drawn out handle, a little less of a curve. So you can kind of see that. So the Nightshade is more of that angular, that curvature, has more of that curvature to it. And then the blade shapes as well, they are a little bit different. So you do have a 3/4 height, or almost a full height flat grind on the Fintiso. On the Vosteed, you have a full flat grind, and then you have way more of a pronounced leaf shape on the Vosteed. The Fintiso looks more akin to just a standard drop point with a little bit of a belly, where the Nightshade definitely has a more pronounced leaf shape and shilling cutter shape to it. Flippers, again, are a little bit different. Outside of that, they're both shilling cutter blades. Now, if I was to, you know, draw again more comparison to the two, you're looking at $135 or $125. This has titanium and G10. This is, or titanium, G10, and LMAX. This is carbon fiber and S35. So, you know, there's people that think, you know, there's camps on both sides that really love S35 over LMAX or vice versa. I honestly don't think you're getting hurt either way, but in my personal opinion, your better bang for the buck is here in the Nightshade. Getting that titanium, getting the LMAX steel, you're getting a little bit better action with the liner lock. You have a more reliable detent, so there are a lot of differences there. So just keep that in mind. You know, let that be what your you know, your deciding factors are. So you can really see some of those similarities where you've got the dual construction back there on the bottom. You got a backspacer versus no backspacer. But yeah, anyway, I personally think on the Fintiso where it's at will be the budget version. So that's probably the route I'm going to take when I do get the new one. Then again, you have a issue of coming into the realm of the standard Nightshade. So your standard Nightshade's around $60, and it's 14C, or excuse me, 154. And then the standard, the budget Fintiso Cobra is 14C, and around that same price, right around that $50 to $60 price point. So it's just really depends on what you're wanting. So with the Vosteed, you do have a, you got a flipper only variant, you got a thumb hole only variant, you have a thumb stud variant, and then you have the premium that has both. And with the liner lock, you do have an actual detent that allows the flipper to work perfectly. So you don't have to worry about that issue there with the like what we have with the Fintiso. So again, just trying to make sure that you guys are able to make a wise decision with your money, especially when you're talking about something that is, you know, $130 knife. Now the $60 knife, I don't think you're going to go wrong either way. Either way you go, like I said, 14C and G10 or aluminum for $60 is a steal. Like I said, I think for the $10 difference, you're not really getting hurt going with this over the premium nightshade. Availability is definitely there as well. I'm not sure how available the nightshades are right at this moment. But hopefully you're able to make a decision based on that. And let me know what you think down below. Like I said, I've heard a lot of people draw conclusions and comparisons between these two. I've heard some really good things, and I've heard some really bad things. I've heard some meh things. So I want to know where y'all stand. Just let me know in the comments below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Just remember to be kind, be humble, be EDC. Y'all take care.